everybody. It's Dayna Martin, community producer for Anarchapulco, and I'm here today with Sasha Daygame. Hey, Sasha, how are you?
Hello, I am very wonderful.
And you're coming to us from where? Where are you right now?
I am in a little town no one's ever heard of called Vilcabamba in Ecuador, in my restaurant, actually.
Oh, cool. Well, before you tell us about this restaurant and how the hell you acquired it, tell everybody who you are and what you're going to be doing at Anarchapulco this year.
Oh my God, it's pressure. Well, I identify mostly as Terran. I do have some roots from Sirius and other star systems, but currently I'm really going into this whole being a human being thing, and it's really great. You know, it's tough down here, a lot of problems, a lot of issues, but you know, I just do the best I can, try heal myself, try and love others, and you know, it's turning out to be a pretty good time.
So it's obvious you're doing a stand-up routine at Anarchapulco this year.
Am I? Nobody told me. Nobody told me that. But every year, though, everyone's like, Sasha, you should get other comedians together and have anarchy comedy show. And I'm like, yeah, we should do that, but we never do that.
I think we should, actually. There's a lot of really funny people part of the community, so maybe that'll manifest this year. But seriously, though.
But seriously, who am I? Well, that's a big question. I've been doing lots of things. Fundamentally, I'm a human being. I'm a man, and my mission is to help. I guess it's a split mission now, because I've been really hardcore on the spiritual path. So if you asked me like a few years ago, I'd say I help men get more authentic and love themselves and connect with women. And if you asked me a year ago, I'd be like, I just help men become the highest version of themselves. And if you ask me now, it would be the last one. But also, I want to help people basically achieve liberation and inner freedom by realizing the nature of their being.
Wow. So it's
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, completely. And I've known you for a few years, and I've really enjoyed seeing your personal evolution, because you live out loud and you share it with everybody, and I think that's really inspiring for people to see you grow. So this year you're doing the Infinite Man Summit, and that's after Anarchapulco, correct?
It is directly after, the 2 days directly after.
Okay, the 18th and 19th?
I believe so. 18th, 19th, yep.
And so this is an extra ticketed event. What can people expect? Like what type of people should sign up for this?
Men should come. Men, big, strong, or tiny and nerdy and shy and stinky and shaven and unshaven, doesn't matter. Well, really the event is just about, you know, I mean, I'm just not somebody who's ever bought into anything like the Matrix, all the rules, like do what you're told, do what the government says, do it like your parents say, do what society says. It's all a bunch of crap, right? It's just programming. And so that's really my gift, I would say, is making people see the programming and just recognize that actually they are in charge of their reality, of creating their reality. And we've had some amazing things happen at the events. Because in the old days, you know, when I was just helping guys get girlfriends, you know, I would break them down by fundamentally making them not care what people think. You know, this whole, everyone's got this disease, right? It's like, it's called giving a fuck. Frankly, I don't know if they've got to beep that out, but just like everybody's so obsessed with like fitting in, be normal, just don't do anything too unusual. And the programming is like everybody, anybody who follows Anarchapulco knows everybody's programmed, right? Programmed, do this, get this job, wear these clothes, make this much money, blah blah blah, get a house, get a car, get married, all this stuff. And it's like when you break any piece of the programming and realize that it's completely made up what you're supposed to do, you start looking at other parts of your life, right? And you're able to start breaking through in other areas. So that's basically what's been happening with me. It doesn't matter whether guys want to like actually find like truly what are they on the planet for, like really what inspires them to that they want to do with their lives, or whether they want to become somebody who truly embodies like love and self-love and just feels good about themselves so they can attract that partner, or whether you want to work on your spiritual connection. It doesn't really matter. When you're able to break the programming and the kind of like how you're supposed to act in any one area, it just kind of moves you to do what you want with your life, period. And that's really what the event is about. It's just getting guys to live authentically. Who are you truly? When you're not trying to please everyone else or trying to live for other people, who are you really? What would you be doing if you could do exactly what you wanted to do every single day of your life? And if you're not working towards that, well, you're holding back, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it sounds like people get a lot out of it. What made you change from the type of things you used to teach before, say 10 years ago when you were like a dating coach and helping guys get girls? What made you personally change?
Yeah, I mean, like you said in the beginning, it's really about about evolution, right? It's like, we all have something in life, or many things that we're passionate about that we're working on. At least I would hope so. I know there's people out there who are new to personal development. Maybe they're just beginning, but really that's the most exciting part about life. So many people out there, they're just kind of like, they're kind of in survival mode. You got to, we're in the system that makes us, puts us in that mode. You got to make money, you got to pay rent, you got to pay your, all this kind of stuff. But when you become aware of that, and you realize, it doesn't have to be that way. There's just so much more to life. So I basically had a breakdown a few years ago. I was teaching guys the dating skills and overcoming their fears and coming up to girls, and it was all wonderful. But again, I just started waking up to how much more there is for me to develop in terms of my health, in terms of my spirituality, my connection to the greater force that has brought us here. I mean, there's just so much more to life than just women. I love women, but there's more going on. And so it's just a constant state of evolution, and I feel like for me, like I'm not really happy unless I'm improving on some part of my life, whether it's my health, my relationships with people, my authenticity with myself, everything. There's just so much. Like life is so exciting when you're really constantly evolving and growing. That's where the fun is. It's just not fun if you're like sitting around doing the same thing every day. That's just passing the time till you check out of here, and that doesn't sound fun to me, No,
I hear you. And I think as a creative myself and as a writer, when I look back on my writing from like 10, 15 years ago, part of me wants to kind of be like, oh God, I can't believe I said that, or I was such a different person then. I can see my evolution through my own work over the years, and I'm sure you can too. And it's a matter of just loving and accepting who you were then.
Exactly.
And knowing it was all part of the process. So I think that's really important. So what about like the guys that you've helped for years? Do they come along with you on this journey? Do you find that there's guys that have been connected with you and learning from you on your own path?
Yeah. Many guys. Some of them have been following me since like, 2009. You know what I mean? I run into them once in a while. I'm like, holy crap. But yeah, you lose some guys were only interested in pickup. So they're like, oh, Sasha's not doing pickup. So they left. But many have chosen to evolve along with me. So they're really doing some amazing stuff. I get emails from guys who have, settled down. Some of them have their own businesses. They're living in Thailand. Some of them are heavily on the spiritual path. Some of them are, really, really high level on their, on the spiritual. So really, yeah. I mean, it's just a choice. Do you want to continue to evolve and grow, or do you just want to kind of accept where you're at and just kind of get through life? And for me, again, it's not exciting.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm definitely with you on that. So something I noticed that you are like into now or doing is fasting. So fasting has really intrigued me. I have a lot of people in my life that are trying it. I do intermittent fasting myself. I have like a 4-hour window, and I can't believe how much clearer I think. Now, the weight loss is wonderful, but my mind is so much clearer fasting. What have you found on your fasting journey?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I'm a foodie. I'm a food addict. That is my one main addiction. I gave up all booze, drugs, even sex, but food. Love my food. It's so good, and yeah, it's just changed everything for me. I do at least 36 hours, sometimes 48 hours a week dry fast, where I have no food, no water, and you gain. People think it'll be hard. I gain energy. I gain clarity. I sleep less. Like the less I eat, the more I do intermittent fasting. You just don't need to sleep that much, because when you're sleeping actually to let your body get rid of the toxins that have come in through food, right? So when there's less food, you just don't need to sleep that much. So I have more energy, more clarity. I sleep less, and I have more time because I'm eating less. So I have way more time every day. So it's a complete life changer. And even though I'm heavily against organized religion, it's one of those things that's in all the religions and that's actually really useful. I mean, everybody knows about it. Fasting, and it's amazing. It should be one of those things that we're told, like, hey, this is going to extend your life. It's going to make you feel a lot better, because we're really living in a culture where it's like, that's how we connect, right? We're just, it's one of the biggest lies. Oh, get your 3 square meals a day. Actually, no, 1 meal a day is much, much healthier for you, because then you'd be fasting the whole time, and your body gets to clean out and clear. I mean, really, 1 meal a day is like really, really amazing. And even once in a while, just skipping food for a whole day is ideal. It really, really is for most people, I would say. Yeah.
I think I've never done dry fasting. Do you find that you're thirsty? How does your body get?
It's actually easier, because when you drink water, it activates your digestion, and for some reason your body's like, oh, is there going to be food now? But when you dry fast, it's more powerful for a variety of reasons. One of them being your body accesses its own deep water when there is no water coming in, and it cleans out your lymph and your blood using deep water, which is much, much, much cleaner. And your cells, when there's no water, somehow they turn into like mini incinerators, years, and they just destroy like cancer, any old cells. Autophagy is increased. So dry fasting is just way more popular because it's more powerful. Yeah. Sorry, I actually meant I was confused. I meant to say it was more powerful, and I said more popular. But yeah, it's definitely probably not more popular yet, but it is more powerful. Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to be talking about that at Infinite Man?
I wasn't planning on it because I've been so much on the spiritual path, and I'm all about raising my consciousness and my vibration, which essentially, I mean, if you ever met anybody who's just like super happy, very positive, and a really, really feel good person, it's because their vibrational frequency is high. And that's what I've been focusing on, just because I find from that place, if I'm truly happy and truly connected to myself, and I just feel like at peace and in a state of bliss, basically, anything I'm doing, even if it's work or writing emails or whatever it is, everything just kind of happens automatically and easily because I feel so good doing it. And that's the thing. People, and this is like a really, really big shift and something I love sharing. You know, most people are affected, their internal state and how they feel is affected by the outside world. But actually, on a higher level, that's not how it works. It's all about your state. Your state actually creates your outside world. So if you actually feel amazing and you're good, you can affect the world profoundly in an amazing way. I mean, it's really crazy, but this is how it works.
Ever since I met you, you seem to have been this like super high vibe person. Like when I'm around you, I feel really good about myself. I feel creative. I feel confident. I think some people just naturally raise your vibe, and you definitely have that gift. Have you always been that way? Has that been something that your whole childhood and your whole teen years, have you always been this high vibe person that people love to be around, or is this something that you kind of cultivated? Maybe a hard question, because it's hard to talk about yourself in that way. But,
yeah. Well, I'm able to separate Sasha, the character, from, you know, the infinite one presence / consciousness. That's a long story about how that came about. But Sasha was actually like very shy because Sasha had a really tough childhood, a lot of abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. So really, I was a shy kid with no confidence. But deep down, you know, I was this amazing soul, I believe. So yeah, eventually, I got into stand-up comedy. I got into dating and seduction, and you know, I really started using my skills. And later on in my journey, which is really the last few years, when I really started doing the healing work, like forgiving my parents, not being angry, understanding that, you know, it was looking at it as a really great and profound learning that, you know, my whole childhood situation, all this kind of stuff. So really making peace with everything, forgiving, and learning to love and accept myself for the unique being that I am. Now I'm really like a loving like I just love everybody, and that's just my normal state. But it took a lot of work. It really took work to get to the place I'm at. Yeah, and I've been working at it really hard. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like it took you like a while to integrate it, but now you're like fully integrated into, you know, those two sides of yourself.
I never say fully, because being human is being traumatized and therefore constantly on a healing journey, and we're never done the work, but I'm definitely on the way. Yeah.
On the way to integration. Thank you for that reminder. That's so important, because I always want to reach this high level of integration and wholeness, and you know, I know I'm going to get there, get better and better every day, but I'll never get there fully, just like you said. So I think that's an important reminder, for sure.
I mean, never say never, but we're all always learning, always healing, always improving. So, and as soon as you say, "Oh, that's it, I'm done," guess what? Universe is going to smack your ass down and show you how wrong you are. So, being humble is really, really important, because again, we're all human beings. We're all in the same trauma-based system, and we've all got work to do. You know, if you're a human being, you got work to do. It's really as simple as that.
So I just started reading this book that I'm really loving, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So I think for me, the book is about accepting yourself, that you're, you know, accepting myself, that I'm a broken kind of person on a journey, and that I don't have to pretend to be anything more than that. And I've had a perfectionist kind of mindset my whole life. And almost this, I have to be this perfect parent because people are watching, and I have to share the perfect stories and all the successes. And in the last several years, I've really kind of come away from that because it's too much pressure and it's not realistic.
It's not authentic.
No,
it's not authentic. That's the thing. It's one of the key learnings. It's like I made a video once called that people loved, and the video title was called "I'm Fucked Up." And in the video, all I said was, "Hey guys, guess what? I'm not just because I'm a YouTuber or whatever, and I'm a personality. I'm not perfect, and here's my issues. I'm judgmental, I'm lazy, blah, blah, blah." And I listed all this stuff, and people loved it because they're like, "Oh my God, Sasha can just say that he's fine." We're all damaged. And as soon as we just go, why are we hiding the fact that we're traumatized and damaged? We're all doing the best we can in a difficult situation in a tricky planet. So, but if we're all just okay with it, we can come together and help each other heal and help love each other. And what a beautiful thing it is to all be in it together. You know what I mean? Like anyone who goes, I'm totally perfect is completely deluded and coming from a place of ego. So why bother?
Completely. And I think Instagram is kind of a trap for that, especially I'm finding for my teen daughters. You know, they're watching these Instagrammers who they love, and it's showing all these amazing things that they do. And my 17-year-old especially compares her life to it. So it's been a lot of discussion and sharing that it's just the day and age that we live in. And so encouraging her just to share herself publicly when she's a mess if she wants to, and that she doesn't have to be perfect. So I know it all starts with me, though. I need to model that for my kids, for sure.
The most attractive thing, and I can tell you this because I've really changed a lot because of my spiritual awakening that's happened in the last few months, but the last couple of years, you can say. And what people love the most, and it's the thing that's the most rare in our society, is authenticity. Really, just someone who's okay being themselves, whether they're funny or angry or just having a bad day or having a great day. It doesn't matter. If you're really coming from a place of people can just feel it. If you're just like being yourself and you're not filtering, you're not, I shouldn't say this, people will think I'm. If you're just like, fucking, I don't care what people think, this is who I am, take it or leave it. People love it because they're used to so much fakeness all the time. So actually, ironically, the easiest thing to do, stop caring what people think and just be who you are and work on yourself and love yourself. That's how to get ahead, because if you're authentic, people want to be around you in every way, not just if you're a internet personality. If you're a dishwasher in a restaurant, you're authentic and you're yourself and you're like, yep, I'm the best dishwasher ever. You know, I'm okay with it. People will love you and opportunities will arise because people want to be around someone who's real. People are tired of the fakeness. God, it's ridiculous. It's like the biggest plague that there is. It's bigger than cancer. It's bigger than 5G. It's bigger than inorganic food and everything. It's inauthenticity. That's the biggest plague.
Yeah, and dude, it's so crazy like that you're saying this, because my talk this year on the main stage at Anarchapulco is about how fucked up my 2018 year was. And how it's things that people never even expected of somebody like me. And so I want to share that journey of my, separation from my husband and my daughter getting in an abusive relationship. And there's so many things I'm going to share really authentically and honestly to let people know that, trust me, just because you're living a peaceful life or you might be living anarchy all the time, it sucks sometimes. Because I've been evolving. I couldn't stay in an unhappy marriage anymore, and I had to risk everything to do the right thing and to love myself and to be real. And it's been a hard journey, but I'll tell you, I've never loved myself more since making that decision. And things have come my way as a side effect of stepping into that authenticity. That's the other benefit of it, though, because you line up with who you are in truth and authenticity. The universe gives you,
dude,
it just leads the way.
So I just want to give you a hug right now. I literally wish I was there so I could give you a hug. What you said is really what it is. When you actually overcome this stuff and you come into who you are and you live your truth and you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to be me and to be true to myself, even if it means hurting somebody else, even if it means it's going to be uncomfortable, but I have to do what's right for me, following my heart. There is no higher spiritual practice. That's it. It's being true to yourself and following your heart and listening to what the messages that are coming from the inside, not what does people think, what does society thinks, what should I... All that is programming. It's conditioning. It's horrible. And this is why the planet is where it's at. Everyone's following orders and doing what they think is normal, even though you're working at some job that's destroying the environment, or soldiers going to war and massacring other people. Why? Because you defend your country. It's good for you. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? It's all conditioning. So imagine if everybody was listening to their internal guidance, what feels right for them. Different planet. And I think that's where we're going right now. That's what's happening. People are starting to wake up and listen to themselves,
I do. And I really think that Anarchapulco this year, it seems like a lot of people are kind of in the same place of evolving. And so I think this might be a theme, like a side theme of the event, is people's vulnerability, their honesty, their authenticity. I know I'm bringing that this year. I know a lot of other people that will be doing so, and you'll be supporting people with the Infinite Man Summit and all that goes along with that. So I will take a rain check on that hug. I look forward to seeing you and getting it. That's for sure.
You're going to get that hug, girl.
Awesome. Great. Well, how can people get to know you more before the event? Do you have a website? How can they get in touch with you?
I like stalkers. I want people following me around, showing up at my restaurant, showing up at my house. Bring chocolate. I respond well to chocolate. So infinitemansummit.com is the website, so you can see the speakers and the events and blah, blah, blah. And then for those who are on the spiritual path, I have a podcast. It's the Woke as Fuck podcast. It's www.woke.as. And then I've got YouTube videos. If you just go on YouTube and type Sasha Daygame, you'll see my old videos of me hitting on girls. You'll see newer spiritual stuff, social experiments, but it's all there for the world to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, cool. Well, thank you so much for letting me have this discussion with you. Are you going to be at Anarchapulco, like for the event itself, or are you just coming for Infinite Man?
Yeah, no. I'll be there. I'm speaking and I'm hanging out. So yeah, I'll be around.
Awesome. Sounds good. You're speaking on the main stage?
I believe so.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was confirmed yet. That's really great. What are you talking about? Do you know yet?
I believe it's going to be about raising your vibration and your consciousness and becoming a loving motherfucker. Yeah.
Awesome. We need more loving motherfucker.
Yeah, or something along those lines. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Sasha and I's discussion today, and I look forward to seeing everybody in a couple weeks at Anarchapulco. Peace, love, anarchy.
Ideas about not wanting to use violence against people and not wanting to steal and extort them.
And they try to tell us that the liberty movement is dead. That's a bunch of baloney. It's alive and well.
All freedom is our natural and eternal right.
And shout this message about what real liberty and freedom mean, but for everybody.
I think that we should start a revolution here today.
Peace, love, and anarchy.